Welcome to the first of two videos about plotting using Python. In Python, there are two libraries that are important for plotting, these being Matplotlib and Seaborn. Matplotlib is a library that is very useful for 2D plotting and is a more simplistic approach when compared to Seaborn. Seaborn, on the other hand, provides a method for statistical data visualization. Additionally, it provides an easy approach for integration with Pandas data frames. If you have not installed the Conda environment using the requirements.txt file, it will be necessary to pip install Matplotlib and Seaborn into your environments of choice to use them appropriately. So first of all, we're going to talk about Matplotlib. So first step is to import the libraries that are needed for your code. The first line, therefore, is import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT. It's important to note that when using matplotlib, it is necessary to import matplotlib.pyplot, not just matplotlib. Otherwise, the graphing will not work. Following this, we needed to import NumPy as we require values for pi. This is because we're using dummy data, and we've decided to just graph the sine curve where we do require the values of pi to calculate the sine values. And therefore, we have imported NumPy. Following this, to create the figure, you can start by defining the figure size, what should be the data. So in the x-axis, we have our x values, which can be seen here. For the y-axis, we have our y values, which can be seen there. Additionally, the label is provided, which then corresponds to what is shown in the legend, which can be seen in the top right-hand corner of the graph. The color is determined here, and if you go onto Matplotlib's website, you can find out many different ways of determining the color and fine-tuning it however you wish. Following this, there's all of the customizations that you can apply, and then finally plot legend and plot show. To plot two lines in the same figure, you just would set plot plt.plot twice with the different corresponding data, and then it will show them accordingly in the graph. Matplotlib provides many different plot types, which some of them are listed here, and additionally, many different customization approaches, which is necessary to create figures of quality for papers. An important line is plot.titleAuto, which is often required to compress a figure into a smaller frame, and therefore it aligns often things like the title into the same area as the actual figure. In the bottom right-hand corner, you can see the link to Matplotlib, where you can find further information about the documentation and customization approaches for the plots in Python. On to Seaborn. So as I previously mentioned, Seaborn works very well with Panda data frames. Therefore, we'll be using a data set, an example data set from Seaborn. Seaborn is imported mainly as SNS, and therefore, whenever you see SNS in code, this corresponds to the Seaborn library. Seaborn also provides example data sets, so we're going to be using one of these just so that we have data that we can easily show and graph. This is the tips dataset that we've chosen to use, and the first 5 lines can be seen here, with also the different values in the columns, such as total bill, tip, sex, etc. To make a count plot, the first thing to do is to decide, what type of plot do you want. So you do sns.countplot. This component is what you switch out when you change it to things like hisplot, or just whatever type of graphing situation you want to use. Following this, you determine what column of your data frame is supposed to be graphed. So in the case that you want to count of how many male and female people there are in the sex column, you would then choose the sex column. Following this, you just then assign which data set this is even meant to be referring to. So in this case, we called it tips. And then finally, you can set the title through the following manner. Here are 3 further plots. So another count plot. However, unlike the last one, this one is grouped in 2 ways. First of all, it's grouped by sex, like the previous plot, but additionally, it also groups the individuals of sex category, so male, into either a smoker or a non-smoker. The way this is done is you first follow the same approach as the previous code. However, there's an additional variable, which is hue, and this provides the information as to which column in the data set provides the categorical value that you want to additionally group the groups by. So in this case, that column is smoker. And then finally, you can see the word palette, which corresponds to the color palette. This is something that's quite fun to play around with using Seaborn so that you can find the perfect appearance for your figures. And there are many different palettes which you can look up on the Seaborn website. Then for a histogram, you would change it to histplot. In this case, we want to show the total bill column and the distribution of the total bills. So we then assign the color red because why not? And then I set KDE as true. This means that additionally to your histogram, you also receive an estimation curve. And then finally setting the title. And our final example here is a box plot, which can show the outliers of a total bill. So we have the total bill column is being graphed, and then we wanted it in green, and then this automatically will show you where the outliers are as it is a box plot. Seaborn provides many different plot types, these being some of them listed here on the screen. Additionally, their website has a lot of good information and tutorials to show you how to customize and make very high quality figures, which can be used in future papers that you may write or presentations. There are two challenges yourself for this presentation, the first being about Matplotlib and the second being about Seaborn. It's important to note that due to not having any data right now, the first step you will have to do is just make some dummy data. And we've assigned the values that you need to use and how to approach this. The Matplotlib one, you will first be using just two lists. And then for the Seaborn approach, you will be using a dictionary that you then need to convert into a pandas data frame. So good luck and see you in the next video.